I've been. What's going on? I've been at the hospital. I'm sitting up in here in the room up in here. It's cold in here. I'm gonna wait till some people get in here. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, they probably gonna come in. Hmm. Yes, indeed, man. I look horrible in this camera. Maybe to me I do. To somebody else I don't. That's my mother in the bed. Yeah. I had to bring my mom. She been in the hospital. I think it was like since Sunday. Yeah. She got a little sore up under trying to heal because I was putting water on her, trying to keep her cool, and she was making bowel movements and stuff like that. So what I'm gonna have to do is start not using water, putting water in the bed and letting her sit in it because it's building up moist and making her break out with sores, and it around under her tailbone. I think they said they had to go in there and clean a lot of the infection out where it had gotten infected. So that water is good, but it's dangerous at the same time. So I didn't even know that. I was aware of that. It put a sore. The moist leave bed make bed sores and stuff. So I didn't know that part. So I'm gonna have to like refrain from putting wetting her down a lot with water. Just wipe dry like because I don't want to have her. You know what I'm saying? Because she's suffering with constipation and stuff like that. But I got her to the hospital and she's just resting right now. Yeah, she's resting. So I went on ahead and got her to the hospital, and and just decided I just get take care of it because I didn't want nothing to get any worse. I always try to do it on time. That way, don't nothing goes. It get worse, and then get out of hand, and then it lead to some other stuff, other minor problems, and I didn't want that to happen. You know, so I always try to stay ahead of myself. This time I'm gonna be worse with staying ahead of myself. I think what I'm gonna start doing when I want to get up out the bed, just call the paramedics or something and tell them I want to get her up out of the bed and I want to like scroll her around, put her in the wheelchair, and I'm gonna start doing that. I think that's what I'm gonna start doing. I should have been, if I'd have been, I thought about that. I should have did that when they came when I was calling the paramedics. I could have got them to help me put her in the wheelchair. Called them up and told them I want to be put in the wheelchair. And I'm waiting on transportation, and they can come in the house and help me put her in the wheelchair. Oh man, I wasn't even thinking. I could have been did this in this almost 2 years. I might have to do it like that in order to get her to the hospital in the wheelchair. I think that's what I'm gonna start doing when I go home and they let me up. I'm gonna call the paramedics and I'm gonna see if they can just. I'm gonna let them know what's going on. I'm trying to get her to the hospital. I just need them to come help me use the whore lifter, which I can do it, but she is kind of like afraid. She don't want me doing it by myself. I don't know why. Because she afraid she gonna fall out of the bed and everything, which I understand. So what I'm gonna do I'm gonna do everything I can Like I'm gonna call the paramedics a day ahead of time. You see what I'm saying? And it's something that I'm unfamiliar with. I'm gonna call them paramedics. Or like when I set my mother up for an appointment to go see the doctor, I'm gonna be going with her to her appointments for sure. And it's gonna help me learn more about how the physician, doctors, and all that stuff work. That way, I be able to understand enough to be able to know how to speak to them and how to, you know, get her the help that she need. And keep doing that. That's what I'm gonna do. I should. That's what I should have been doing. I don't know why I wasn't thinking. Dang, I hate that. Have y'all ever been in a situation like that? You be like, damn, I should have been did this, but you wasn't thinking. But now I finally thought it out. It took me a while. Like when I want to like get ready to take her to the doctor, I can have them is let them know I want to put her in the wheelchair. I have the horse lifter at my house and the wheelchair already. It's an adjustable wheelchair. Oh, I heard somebody say it took me a while too. Cause see, I got her back at the hospital right now, and I would rather have at the hospital. She got a like a little sore up on, and she trying to learn, trying to swallow. You know what I'm saying? They trying to get her to swallow. So they letting her stay in here, and they got a speech therapy coming here. So I'm doing everything. I'd rather have let her sit in here. They probably one thing I can say about them, they keep you a long time in. But I'm gonna be honest with you, man, bro. I do not like hospitals. I'm just gonna keep it up above with you. I do not like hospitals. I do not like sitting in the hospital alone. I still can go home and take care of what I need to take care of and stuff. And, make sure everything is good in the house and stuff. Thank God it smells better in my house. It smells really fresh. It smells like a brand new apartment because I've been keeping it clean. Thank God for that. Um, but I go home and eat something and stuff, maybe try to clean myself up, and then I come back. You know what I'm saying? Come back up here or something. Stay home, go home a few hours, kind of rest up a little bit, and then I come back up here and everything. But I think somebody said it took them a while to do something, you know? Yeah, because I'm all new to this. Because, see, before my mother got um, bed rated like this, she was doing all that by herself. She was getting up, going to a doctor. She would come in the room and she would say, Peter, I'm getting ready to go to my doctor's appointment. Yeah, she was saying, I'm getting ready to go to my doctor. I'll be back. I'm going to the doctor. And sometimes she'll let me know what day we have. I got to go to the doctor Wednesday. I said, oh, really? So I'm gonna start. Man. I'm telling you, I'm gonna take pride in getting up and taking her to the doctor. Seriously, and I'm gonna call the man. I'm gonna say, look, it's something I don't know how to do. I'm gonna tell her, man. I'm doing whatever by all means necessary, because I don't want my mother in no nursing home. I don't, and I'm not gonna put my mother in no nursing home. Not doing that. I just don't believe in it. I'm sorry. It's just not in my DNA. Somebody calling me. Hold on. Let me see who it is. Hello. All right. How you doing? She doing good. I don't even. Oh, this Mr. Hammond, right? Oh, okay. Yeah, she's sitting here sleeping and everything. She doing good. She just getting a lot of rest. You know. Mm-hmm. I sure do. Oh, I do. I do. I'm gonna be. I can probably get up in tomorrow sometime and leave out and go, and then I can come back up here. I'm gonna get up probably around maybe Okay, I heard her say that. I love that too. I'm surprised you was able to call, man. I said I'm surprised you was able to call because I know you had the thing going on with the. Okay. Oh, that's good. That's really good. I'll let you know, man. I've really been sitting up in here today as I was throwing a prayer for my mother. I was praying for y'all too. Yeah, but she doing good. Okay, Mr. All right. Okay, Mr. Hammond. All right then. Okay. Thank you. All right. I hate he couldn't finish the conversation off. That man been like a father to me, you know. I call him, his name is Mr. Ben Hammond. Yep. He been like a father to me. And I appreciate it, you know. And I'm gonna, you know how it's like you be wanting to. It'll get that, you know. It'll get that. He really been, he asked me about my mother and everything. I said she doing good. She just getting her some rest and everything, and all that. You know what I'm saying? And you know what? I believe my mother gonna be all right. I really do. I believe. I told her, I said, you know what? I believe she gonna be before the end of this year is out. She gonna be walking. It's just my belief. You know. I don't know how it going to happen. I put it like this here. I don't know what the future holds, but I do know and I do believe that God worked miracles. I believe it. I really do. I honestly believe it. Because God said He can do anything, above, abundant, or ceiling, above or what we're able to ask or think, He did say, according to your faith, it will be done. So I believe it. That's why I told God is to strengthen my faith. Please strengthen my faith. That's what I said. I said, shoot, God, please continue to increase my faith. Yep. They got a book here. I'm trying to. I can read hold on, wait a minute. That's another thing about me too. I love helping my elderly people, but I also love reading too. I get a joy out of doing both of those things, especially helping people. I don't do stuff for no outside show. I don't do all that. Oh no! I tell people that all the time. I say, let me set the record straight now. I don't. Yeah, yeah. I don't agree with everything in here, but it's called "Where Is the True Church?" and its incredible history. I don't agree with everything in here, but some things doable. Wait a minute. It's another. Hold on. Let me set this phone up. Yeah, but that was my spiritual father, man. He's not my biological father, but you know, he give me good counseling and stuff when I need it, and that means a whole lot to me. You know what I'm saying? They can only be a representation of you. Give me that. You know what I'm saying? Like they say, it ain't. Um, they can't be your physical, biological father, no, but they can give you. They can give you spiritual counseling and stuff like that. You know. Good counseling. Hold on. Good advice. I agree with some of the things in here. The the greatest the greatest question, plain answers. The Ten Commandments nailed to the cross are required for salvation. See, a lot of people believe that. The one thing I agree with what this man wrote in here. He wrote that that they teach in the Christian church that the laws of God is done away with. But okay, how you doing? What's going on? Somebody said, "Hey, Hey, hey, okay." I look different with my glasses on. I tell you what, I'm gonna read some of this stuff right up here. I'm just gonna read. Did the Ten Commandments precede Moses? Most leaders of professed Christianity insist that the core of God's spiritual law, the Ten Commandments. Now, when you look at the Ten Commandments, it's more than Ten Commandments. The Ten Commandments just sums up 613. It's actually 613 commandments, but most of the people in the so-called Christian church, they teach that it's only 10. You see what I'm saying? That's what we learned. We have that. It's like a learned behavior, but it's actually more. It's 600. Like I said, you get it. But um, most of the 90 in America, so-called America, nine over 90% of the stuff that we think we know, most of it is a lie. But let's read. Most leaders of professed Christianity insist that the core of the God's spiritual law, the Ten Commandments, is done away, repeating what they have been taught without requiring proof. They call it the law of Moses and claim that it was abolished by Jesus Christ's sacrifice, but they do not know the difference between the Levitical sacrificial rituals, the law of Moses, and the law of God. Now, when you look at the law of God and the law of Moses, when you look at the spiritual law, when you look at the moral law and the carnal law, carnal mind, the law of flesh and the law of spirit, a combination of ignorance and attempt to minimize the Ten Commandments as dispensational obligatory arbitrary for a limited period of time has has caused most to believe the Ten Commandments did not exist prior to Moses receiving them on Mount Sinai. Is this true? Is this what the Bible teaches? While other chapters of this book will address whether the New Testament requires obedience to uh, uh, these these marvelous laws. Okay, hold on, wait a minute. Hello. Oh, what's going on? I'm Tara. I'll be the nurse assistant for tonight. Oh, okay. How you doing? I'm good. I'm holding up. You know. Let me see. Let's do Yeah. Let me. Yes, indeed. Okay, now let me. Okay, a combination of This is a faith-based discuss on Ten Commandments verses 613. John the debate. John the debate. Is that somebody that wrote that in here? Okay. Is this what the Bible teaches? While other chapters of this book will address whether the New Testament requires obedience to these marvelous laws, our purpose here is to examine the proof from creation to Moses. Keep in mind that the scriptures cannot be broken. What scriptures can be examined for proof? It says the scriptures cannot be broken. John 10:35. That's where it's at. It's not in here, but I already know where it's at without even looking at it.
Okay, well, call me if y'all need anything, okay?
Gotcha. They said, call me if y'all need anything. I said, okay, gotcha. We're going to see what you're working with. Call me if you need anything, okay? We're going to see just how bad you is. All right, let's go down and read the other part at the bottom. Okay. Can y'all see that? The law of Moses, the law of God, the Ten Commandments was never referred to as the law of Moses, but rather the law of God. First, understand this. The law of Moses consisted of 1, the civil laws, which were statutes and judgment that Moses related to the people from God, recorded in Exodus 21:23 and in the remaining books of the law. 2, the ritualistic laws of Greeks, Orgon, that were added later, summarized in Hebrews. See, they say Moses' law was added because of transgressions. So there are some of the laws like that, the law of animal sacrifices, where you had to offer lamb. Just imagine you had to offer a lamb every time you broke the law of God. I'm going to go ahead. You know what? I'm going to come back to that. I'm just going to kind of skip and go through it and find the one that breaks down grace. Yeah, so I'm not going to read all, sit here and read all of that. It's got a lot of good stuff in here, though. The fourth commandment, remember the Sabbath. That's going to take, I'm going to have to break that down. I want to look for the one about the great law and grace. Yep. I know I'm boring. Even today, the modern day descendants of ancient Israel continued to rebel against God and break his Sabbaths. There will be a time after God's fiery fury is poured out on them that they, along with the rest of the world, will keep his Sabbath. Notice this: as I live, said the Lord God, surely with a mighty hand and with a stretched out arm, and with a fiery
poured out, with fury poured out, I will rule over you, and I will bring you out from the people, and will gather you out of the countries where you are scattered. Okay, this is talking about slave the Israelites being in slavery and stuff like that, to being slaves to the other nations. But we'll break that part down in another one. Uh, with a mighty hand, with stretched out arm, and with fury poured out. Exodus 20, verse 33 and 34. These verses depict a period when Jesus Christ, the saints, will rule with righteousness equally. He will gather the Israelites, survivors of several national punishments, and bring them back to the land he has rever, re, reserved for them. This time Israel will obey. Read our booklet, How God's Kingdom Will Come, the Untold Story. The following scriptures should help you appreciate the unique opportunity that Israel was given by God. In Psalms 147, verses 19 through 20 reads, He showed his word unto Jacob, and his statutes and his judgment unto Israel. He has not dealt so with any nation, and as for his judgment, they have not known. He said he ain't deal with no other nation but Israel. No other nation but Israel. But it said he has not dealt so with any nation, and as for his judgments, they have not known them. Notice Amos 3 and 1 through 2. Hear this word that the Lord has spoken against you, O children of Israel, against the whole family, which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying, You only have I known of all the families of the earth. Therefore I will punish you for all your iniquities. You see what I'm saying? So this thing really is about the chosen people of God. As a result, these tribes went into captivity for many centuries and lost their identity and became lost to history. The nation of Judah, talking about the black people, also went into captivity because of Sabbath breaking and adultery. Jewish leaders such as, now they always talk about Jewish leaders. That's the part I disagree with, because ain't no such thing as Jewish. The fake Jews Hellenize the real Jews. Okay, Nehemiah. Okay, such leaders such as Ezra, Nehemiah, who returned after their captivity, were diligent in keeping the Sabbath. They realized that neg- negating negating this vital command was the neglecting this vital command was the main reason for their captivity. That's what it was. That was the main. Yeah, they realized that neglecting this vital command was the main reason for their captivity. That means slavery. Nehemiah chapter 13, 17 through 18. Turning away from observing the Sabbath always leads to adultery and worshiping false gods. Sabbath keeping shows God the course one has chosen to follow. My virtually important book, American and Britain in Prophecy, carefully explained why Israel was taken into captivity and what the twin sins of Sabbath breaking and adultery mean for these nations today. This book is not to be missed. This book is not to be missed. Interesting. But I'm gonna read the rest of it off camera, man. gonna post this, but I'm gonna have to download it.